everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Mockingbird Show, and today I will be talking about how we can create a gender-neutral home, a classroom, and a society. In this fast-moving world where everybody is doing their role in the best possible way, it is time we do away with the stereotypes that classify the genders. So during the early childhood years, the children get to know about their own gender. So we first talk to them about whether they're a boy or a girl, and this in itself starts the classification of a boy and a girl and the difference they have. Why do they need to know about their gender? But they need to also understand certain things which are very important, because nowadays a girl or a boy cannot be simply divided on terms of their capacity or their ability, because we can see everybody performing really well. But at the same time, in our society, we kind of stereotype certain roles for the girls and certain roles for the boys. Things are changing. Our girls are really breaking the glass ceiling, and at the same time, we have to also make our boys ready to have such dynamic people as their partners. And here comes our role as a mother, as an educator, as somebody who shapes the society. So let us start with some strategies how we can bring in more gender neutral environment into our homes, into our classrooms, and into society. Number one, I would say, is our dialogue. So generally when we say that a girl should not be laughing so loudly, or a boy, why are you crying, you are a boy. So these kind of subtle dialogues, which even don't mean anything for us, sends a message out. And they tend to understand that a girl needs to behave, or a girl needs to be in a certain framework, and a boy needs to be in certain framework, and that kinds of classifies them. So it is very important that in a family where maybe the father and the mother are both working, or even if the mother is a homemaker, we distribute our chores. The work needs to be distributed. If both of them are coming from the office, sometimes the father can make a cup of tea for the mother, and these kind of small actions would enable the child to understand that every individual has a part, a responsibility to play in the household. Similarly, the dialogues that we use, like I said, needs to be very gender neutral. We generally tend to, I have been in the situation where sometimes when a car is not being driven well, the male driver assumes that that car is driven by a female because they can't drive. So these kind of small messages and dialogues that we send out tend to create gender roles, like a girl cannot drive well, or a girl is not supposed to be somebody who can do certain kind of jobs. So this gender stereotype needs to be removed. So this dichotomy of a girl being in the office, achieving, being the CEO, at the same time cooking the lunch for the family, taking care of the child all the time alone, needs to be done away with. Another way we can create a more gender neutral home or a classroom is by introducing them to gender neutral toys. So there should be a mix match. If it is a boy, it does not need to, we don't need to buy just cars and blocks and all of that, but they can also play with a kitchen set, with a Barbie. And similarly for girls, they can play with any kind of toys, and that way the divide is going to be done away with. Another way we can introduce more diversity, tolerance for each other, and that is through meaningful dialogues, celebrating Women's Day, celebrating Men's Day, where they feel that it is not really, we are different, but we try to cherish each other. We try to accept them as they are, and try to do our best in whatever way we can for each other. We can introduce our children to gender neutral activities like a cooking competition for fathers that would break that stereotype that the mother needs to cook all the time, and different activities like a walkathon, which is for awareness about women's rights, a walkathon that protects a guy from being, very susceptible because he is vulnerable. So those kind of activities actually would create more tolerance for each other. So we have to, in a big way, challenge these gender stereotypes, and this can be best done by the mothers because we are interacting with our children and our dialogues mean a lot to them. If I have a boy and I would tell him that, why are you crying like a girl? It is a given that girls cry and boys don't. But then boys have emotions. So they need to vent out their emotions. They need to express. They need to label their emotions. So we should not be specifying how they need to behave or what they need to do because they belong to this specific gender. Right role modeling is very important. I and my partner in my house, the way we talk with each other, the way we show respect to each other is again very, very important because our children learn from examples. They are looking, we are the role models for them. So if I am being dominated in the household environment, the boy understands that a woman can be dominated, she can be taken for granted. And at the same time, if we are having a girl in that environment, she would understand that she needs to be that docile girl who will listen to everything without a question. So those kind of gender biases and stereotypes need to be done away with, and every classroom, every educator needs to have very gender neutral conversation, gender neutral environment, gender neutral colors. Last but not the least, I believe that our mindset is what we need to change. In order to bring a momentous change in our outlook, we first need to change our mindset. We have been reared by mothers who looked at the role of a woman in a different light. And with the new generation, the Gen Zers, the Alpha and the Beta that has just arrived, we need to change our mindset. We need to be more inclusive of all genders in this society. And our mindset is what works in shaping the mindset of these little ones. So dear parents and educators, I think we need to change how we talk. We need to change what we think, and we need to change those small messages that keep coming in our minds, which creates the divide between the genders. My brother will not do this, I am responsible for doing that. Or the brother feels that my sister is not capable of doing this because she is a weaker gender. So we need to change that, and that will start from today. Keep watching The Mockingbird Show, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'll come up with more videos, and let's all create a wonderful world for everyone where everybody is equal, everybody is doing their part, and everybody is happy. Thank you. See you again. Bye-bye.